Hello and welcome. My name is Justin.
And I'm Draven.
And you have tuned into the Grey Villain Podcast. It's been a long time, Draven.
Yeah, it's been quite a few weeks, actually.
It's been like 3 weeks since we've done something. Since Spider-Man sucked up all the oxygen.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
And so we took that opportunity to go on vacation.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Much
so
needed
nice.
Vacation for Draven. But did you, so what did you do on your vacation?
So most of my vacation was spent drinking, hiking, and watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures with my friends.
And how was JoJo's?
JoJo's
I don't care
Bizarre
about
Adventures.
any of the other stuff. I've done all the other stuff. Everyone
Fair enough.
hikes. Everyone hikes.
But JoJo's Bizarre
Sometimes
Adventures was
and hikes.
actually really good. My biggest piece of advice, do not do what a lot of people say to do and watch it piecemeal. Watch Season 1 to Season 2 to Season 3.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it was super good. I'd recommend it to anybody. And the first season's free on Netflix right now, so go watch it.
It's on my list. I've had it recommended, so yeah, I gotta go check it out.
It's definitely worth the watch. It's a very good show.
Because on my list, my list is getting rather short because I've been watching a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah,
recently.
what have you been watching?
Man, I got caught up on Stranger Things Season 2, and then I watched Season 2.5, or some people call it 3. It's really 2.5. It's so dumb. I'm not going to spoil it, but like this, it's the same. They introduced some new characters for Season 2, and then nothing really happened to those characters. And then those same characters came back for Season 3, and then they were the point. And it's like, you gave me, was it like 17 episodes? I think 8 episodes and 9 episodes in the 2 seasons. And it dealt with the same villain and dealing with the same shit. And I didn't really care for it. I mean, it's definitely not as good as Season 1 was. Everyone was, batshit crazy for Season 1. Oh my god, Stranger Things, have you seen it?
I
80s
have
nostalgia.
yet to watch that series at all. So.
And Season 1 is good, but I think people liked it for the nerd culture, the 80s nerd culture, way too much in the references.
Yeah.
And then Season 2 and Season 3 got more of the references, but didn't have the same feel to it. The characters weren't as fun because they're a little more familiar with them. They're a little quirky, but and then Season 3 just kept that going, and it was better than Season 2, but it was just a continuation of Season 2, and like usually Season 3 is, but in this case it felt like it was one season that they just kind of broke into 2 because they could. Yeah. Not because they should. There's this incredible douchebag with a great mullet and a little mustache.
So, the mullet and porn stash has been all over my Facebook because that is all the memes my friends are sharing right now.
Yeah, that guy shouldn't think he's tough shit. I had a better body than him when I was the same age. I'm pissed off.
Alright, what else have you watched? Because you watched a lot while I was gone.
Yeah, so I went to the theater and I watched Crawl, which was, okay, you're from Florida?
I am from Florida.
And we were laughing about this movie in the advertisements for it. And so, do they build houses with crawl spaces?
No, the fuck they don't. Do you know why? Our floodplain is too high for that.
Because the first hurricane that comes along floods your fucking crawl space, and there's no way.
There's no basements in Florida ever.
Yeah.
If you find a storm cellar in Florida, you're doing something wrong. And it's flooded 90% of the year. I guarantee you.
Yeah, that was my thought about this movie, and I'm watching this thing, and it's like half the movie takes place in the crawl space under the house, and it's like there's no screens on, so there's ways for air to get down there because we live in Seattle. We have crawl spaces and basements here in Seattle. But in Florida, yeah, your water table is too high. You live in a fucking swamp, and you dig down like 4 feet, and you hit water. You don't build a crawl space like that. There is sometimes space under the houses because they're like up on stilts or
cinder blocks
or whatever.
Look at you fucking mobile homes.
Yeah, and that's to keep the water from being getting trapped in and under ground space. But in this thing, they had like their crawl space, and then they had the wall had broken down, which led to another room, which led to a pipe out to the river,
which no, that
is where the
doesn't fucking
gators
happen.
were. And I'm like, the fuck type of architecture is this going on in your house?
Let me paraphrase this again with, we do not have crawl spaces in Florida because the water table and the floodplain are too high for that shit.
I immediately called my stepdad, who's in construction. He was an electrician for a shit ton of years. He owned his own company, and we had a lot of neighbors that were in construction, so we always were really interested in that sort of thing. We built a bunch of houses over the years, and so I immediately call up my parents, and I'm like, hey, Chris, he's my stepdad. I'm like, hey, Chris, do houses in Florida have crawl spaces underneath them? He's like, no, they are on they build on the pads. And I'm like, okay, good, because this whole fucking movie is about like this crawl space under the house. The dad is like doing he is estranged from his wife, and his daughter is a swimmer at University of Florida up in Gainesville, and so then there's a hurricane coming in, and she's like, and her sister calls up, and she's like, I can't get a hold of Dad, and so sister's like, okay, I guess, or so our main character's like, okay, I guess I'll go down to drive 2 hours south to check up on Dad.
That's actually not a lot in Florida, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And so she drives all the way down there to the house, finds the dog. She takes the dog with her to check on Dad at the house because Mom and Dad are recently separated. But Dad ain't mad because wife has found someone else, and he's like, hey, you know what? It's fine. And you know, he was a really understanding dad, and daughter tried blaming herself for the separation, and she's like, and he's like, no, you know, girls left the house, and you know, we just grew apart. It's fine. It's okay. It's like, wow, Dad, you're super understanding. And
that's an OG dad right there. Let's be honest. We get a lot of shitty dad characters in some movies. That's actually a nice person.
But she had to find him. She gets to the house though, and she just like takes her sweet ass time looking for her dad. There's a hurricane bearing down. They're evacuating Florida. Everybody. And she's just like looking at old family pictures.
Yeah, in Florida, we don't give a shit about hurricanes either. But continue.
And yeah, okay, so they're cleared everybody out, but she's looking for her dad, and she can't find him. He's not answering the phone. She finds the phone. She's like, oh my God, where's Dad? Then she goes out. She's like, remembers that there's a cellar where there's a way down into the crawl space from inside the garage. Okay, so. With big double door, like a cellar. Like
a storm door.
Yeah, and it's like, it's in your garage. What the hell's going on here? But fine. Because crawl spaces are usually just a hole, and then you can just kind of climb down a little bit. So she goes down there, and then she eventually crawls around, and it's all dirty and wet and everything. And they show that water's coming in, and... but there's no screens over any of the air vents in there. And so it's like, how do you not have a shit ton of snakes and lizards and shit already living down there if you have no screens? And then she finds her dad down there, and he's been bit, and he has a compound fracture of his leg. His bone is like all sticking out and everything. And then he's just like, later on, he's like, it's fine. He gets a pipe and or a piece of wood, and he pushes the bone back in, and he's like, oh yeah. And then later he's holding the flare. He's like, fucking yeah, come on, dog, because the dog's swimming down the hallway. He's like, come on, dog. And then a gator just comes up and bites the shit out of his arm and rips his arm off completely.
I'd like to point out that dog is dead 5 minutes into this movie.
The dog survived.
Fuck this movie already. I refuse to see it.
We joked about that in the theater. I was like,
fuck this movie for doing it.
Dude, does the dog survive? We were like, no. But yes. Yeah, it does.
No, not in real life, but yes. By the way,
so stupid.
This movie sucks for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only.
There's someone trying to steal an ATM from the gas station right across the street from the house, and then the gators all get him though. It's kind of funny.
So, for 2 things. 1, gators don't like the taste of human. They really don't like how we taste. They fucking hate us.
These guys are really fucking hungry.
And 2, every single other animal in this movie deserves to die more than we do because, again, gators like them more than us. We don't taste good.
Yeah, so Barry Pepper was dad. Barry Pepper is, he has to, at the end of the movie, he has to hack his way. So he eventually gets up to the attic, and because the daughter went out the other window because she was like trying to signal a helicopter in the fucking hurricane. Helicopters.
Yeah.
Category 5 fucking hurricane outside. Helicopters coming to rescue the stupid white people. And so they go in there, but they have to go and signal this helicopter. It's like, say, hey, we're here, because somehow they just sort of knew that they were there. And so then Barry Pepper's got one fucking arm, and he takes a shovel, and he digs his way out of the roof of the house, and gets out of the roof of the house. And the fucking dog is sitting there the whole time
roof. Sorry. So what else did you watch? Because this movie is fucking horrible.
It is stupid. I watched Midsummer. I actually
don't want you to talk too much about this one because I still want to see it, but was it good? Oh, you
actually do want to see it?
I do want to see it, yeah.
Okay. Yes. I thought it was good. Have you seen Hereditary? Everyone's saying it's like Hereditary was the last movie that this guy did, and it was I didn't see it, but I guess it was better.
Okay.
But so I'm just gonna up the ante and watch the next one, or watch Hereditary next.
Okay.
And but it's really good. It's artsy. It's silly. Some of it is silly. I want to make fun of this one part where the guy, he doesn't go head first. He goes feet first. And I can't give it away, but it's hilarious. And it's like, dude, you know what was going to happen. You saw other people do this. This is not the first time. And then you decided to go feet first. And then you knew what the consequences of going feet first were. Why did you do that?
I need to go see this movie now so I understand what the fuck you're on about.
I don't get it.
Let's move on.
It was pretty. It was good.
Comic-Con, actually, because you really want to talk about Comic-Con, since I haven't watched anything about it because I was gone during Comic-Con weekend.
So Comic-Con was a lot of the things that we were talking about actually came to fruition. The first movie that is coming out is going to be Black Widow, and where's that picture? Where's the picture? No, that's not what it is. There's a
is there a
timeline.
New phase timeline?
Yeah, and everyone's calling it phase 4, but it only is 2 years, and I'm like, I think they're going to add in more.
Oh yeah, we're getting more.
No. Oh, shit. The internet is hard. Is that it? No. That's someone's stupid ideas. Oh, where's the damn timeline?
Is that literally it?
No. It has all the shows too. Is that it right there? Yeah. There we go. All right, so it's got Black Widow coming out first. The reason I saw Midsummer is because Florence Pugh, the blonde chick in that, is going to play Helena Belova, who is the new Black Widow in Black Widow. The movie is a prequel. It takes place between Civil War and Endgame, or Civil War and Infinity War, and is going to deal with some of her backstory. Did you ever... Some people wanted to see Budapest.
Yeah.
You want to see Budapest?
I still want to see Budapest.
Okay.
I want to know what happened to Budapest.
Here's my problem with Budapest.
Uh-huh.
Did you want to know how Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon? Did you want to see how he got his gun?
Right. Okay, fair enough. We had a movie dedicated to that, and it fucking sucked, so...
Yeah.
Fair.
You don't... No. See, the problem with these movies is that you want to leave that stuff in the realm of someone's idea and not bring it to reality because
expectations doesn't meet reality. Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to leave that there and just let people have that fun with it because you can never win, or it's so hard to beat the expectations.
Half-Life 3.
Yeah, there would be another one, and it's like I mean, I'm surprised that Avengers Endgame and even Infinity War lived up to expectations
and even surpassed them in some cases.
Because the bar for excellence is so high with those movies, considering what we've seen from the rest of the MCU and that build up. It could have been a huge letdown. Like I wanted, like, Thanos needed a feat of strength right off the bat in that movie, and I was thinking, like, kill Odin, but then Ragnarok happened, and so couldn't do that. So I was really concerned. And then what happens? Opening scene. They show Thanos ripping everyone's head off, or killing Loki, beating up Hulk. Thor is at his mercy. Everyone's dead. You get the sense, okay, this guy is actually nothing to fuck with. Yeah, he's been sitting in a chair, but he's just been conserving his strength. And so, that was the expectations game that I was going to be really concerned about. And then we got that. So yeah, with Black Widow, it's kind of like, oh shit, do you really want to deal with the expectations game? I don't think you want to go that far back, and I'm not sure that they will do Budapest. Maybe briefly, but probably not.
Yeah, probably a flashback, maybe at best.
So, the guy who plays Sheriff Hopper in Stranger Things, you know who that is? I
don't watch Stranger Things.
Well, I figured you would still. This dude, Chief Hopper, David Harbour. You know who David Harbour is? He played. Yeah, he played the new Hellboy.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's going to be in this as well. He's like Red Guardian. He's he's the Russian Captain America, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're also getting Taskmaster.
Fucking finally. Awesome. I'm actually looking forward to this now. I have a reason to watch this movie.
Yeah. I think this is going to be really good. So one of the things that I've kind of picked up on is that, like Black Widow goes into a room with Helena Belova and they start fighting and they're all doing the same moves because they're from the same Red Room. Mm-hmm. And so they know all the stuff. And so they each have a gun and then they each disarm each other and they each come up with the gun again. And then they each do it again and they each come up with each other's gun again. And they're like, okay. And then they have a beat-down, drag-out fight a little bit, but, they sort of...
Yeah, but it's hard to have a beat-down, drag-down fight when you know the exact same moves.
Yeah. And so then you also have Taskmaster, who does the same moves.
Well, Taskmaster can read everybody.
So she's going to have to come up with something new, and that's going to be her thing. It's going to
The one person who can 100% of the time beat Taskmaster, Deadpool. You can never expect what he's going to do.
Yeah, well,
which is one of my favorite comic book things ever.
He shoots guns out of his butthole and stuff like that. I mean, he's like...
Yeah, so...
It's Deadpool.
What's next after that?
Let's see. Oh, also Rachel Weisz is going to be in Black Widow as... She's gone through it 5 times, the Red Room stuff, so she's, like, not even human. No, she's not buff. She's just, like, insane. She has no feelings. I mean...
she's gone complete lack of empathy.
She's had her ovaries taken out 5 times. It's crazy.
When they brought that up, okay. But then we got, what's next?
Falcon and Winter Soldier on Netflix. Or no, Disney Plus. Netflix doesn't have any stuff anymore. So we know for a fact that that the Netflix shows don't mean shit. You don't have to watch them. They have no continuity, no nothing. If you had any thought that they did, they really don't.
Yeah, no, we've known that for a while.
And really, the Hulu stuff and Cloak and Dagger and the teenager one that I never watched.
Young Justice?
No,
I don't actually know what other ones are on. Because again, I haven't watched any of the shows because I don't give a shit about them.
The Runaways
Really? That was actually one of the shows they had?
Yeah, it's on Hulu, I think.
Interesting.
And they got the Raptor and everything. I never watched it. I sort of watched... I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. up until this last season. I haven't watched it all. And just, you don't have to watch any of it. You can just assume it's all like multiverse shit. Just like forget about it. Yeah, so Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm not even sure. Someone was speculating that's not the real title because Falcon and Winter Soldier is not the names that they go by. And like, okay, then it seems like kind of soon to not have a real title for it yet.
Doesn't particularly matter at the end of the day.
Comes out like next year or something. And so, yeah, I don't know anything about it other than it's got Falcon and Winter Soldier in it.
Which means we're getting the new Captain America.
And Brule. No, we're not getting a new Captain America. We're getting Brule in he's coming back as a pink sock wearing. Oh God, what's his name? The guy he played in Civil War.
I'm gonna sit here and watch you struggle. I'm gonna watch you suffer. Mainly because I don't know who the fuck you're going on about either.
You don't know who the purple sock? Yeah, all the people at home are pissed off. Zemo, Baron Zemo.
Come on. Oh, come on. Really? We have to deal with him again? Fuck.
I thought he was really good.
I fucking hated his guts. That's fine. We'll get to see him get punched
in the
face.
But he's got a purple sock now, so it's going to be cool. He's cooler.
Okay, again, we'll just watch him get punched in the face and it'll be fun.
But he has a sock on his head.
Okay. Anything else interesting happened at MCU Comic-Con?
Eternals. Oh, okay. So Eternals, the dude in which is going to be the second movie coming up. That dude, the dude that plays in Stuber, and he's going to be in the Eternals, along with Angelina Jolie and some other folks. They just gave us the whole lineup. That was about it. I don't know anything else about it. Shang-Chi really does have Mandarin as the dad.
Oh, we have that confirmed now?
It is going to be
I'm glad you called that. We have that on record, by the way.
Yeah. And I just heard a rumor about it, and it worked. So, and the actor is some dude I've never heard of. Some Asian guy I've never heard of. Sisu Liu or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. No one's heard of him. So we have WandaVision and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. And people are saying that Doctor Strange is going to lead into WandaVision. And I'm not sure if it's that way or the other way around. If it's WandaVision leads into Doctor Strange. But Wanda is in Doctor Strange. And it's going to be Nightmare. It's going to be the Vision, or the villain. And he'll probably be colorful. So it'll be cool.
Yeah.
And it's going to be straight up horror. And this is the first time that TV is going to lead into the movies. And so I think it's going to be Wanda leading into Doctor Strange. Awesome. That makes more sense than having Doctor Strange, the movie, lead into Wanda TV show.
Yeah.
Unless WandaVision is going to be some weird, like, she's in her head and Vision is there in her head. And so that's where we leave her. But, so she's doing stuff in Doctor Strange and then we leave her in WandaVision? Or do we do WandaVision, then Doctor Strange comes and grabs her and they finish the movie? I don't know which way it's going to go.
We'll see. We'll have more info soon.
Loki, we know nothing about. He's got a Tesseract. So people are talking about him.
He's got a Tesseract and the Scepter. Let's not downplay that.
Okay, but people are talking about him like jumping through the multiverse, and I'm looking at it like
the Tesseract can do that. Yeah.
Not the multiverse.
Yeah, that's Tesseract's thing. Transportation, time, and space. That's the Tesseract's
over space, not through time. That's why.
Well, time and space have to go together.
Yeah, that's sciencey. That's too sciencey for magic shit.
Yeah, but they even call it out on its shit too. In the first movie, the Tesseract's around, they go, it doesn't just warp space, it also warps time too. It just doesn't have control over time. It just, by connection, warps both.
Yeah.
It's dumb and it's sciencey.
Isn't that back when they didn't even think it was going to be the Space Stone? So that you could say whatever you want about it.
It could be null and void now, but laws of physics, fuck you. What's other than Loki, since we know nothing about it?
What if... Well, actually, Loki's going to be bouncing around. What if is going to be animated. All the actors are coming back and doing their actual voices. So that's going to be really cool, I think. It's going to have a lot of weird stuff in it. And to make sure that everyone knows it's different, it's animated.
Do we know, like, is it going to just be, let's say, like... self-contained episodes, or
I think so. I kind of the Watcher is going to be narrating, so I kind of think it's sort of like is it what we predicted? Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Twilight Zone. But is it what we predicted, to where they're gonna be showing us the different multiverse stories without breaking continuity?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be different stuff. Yeah, because it's and it's animated, so it is outside that. I mean. They didn't want anyone fooling with the idea that it's live action and so it's real. It's like, no.
So strike 2 for we were right in the last episode.
Yep. Thor, Love and Thunder.
Which looks straight out of the 80s, by the way.
Taika Waititi's back.
Thank God. Okay.
Guess who else came back?
Who else came back?
From a previous movie.
Valkyrie?
She's back, yes.
Thank God. Who else? Hela?
No.
That would suck.
It would suck.
Who else came back?
Oh, keep going. Keep guessing.
Heimdall?
No.
Is it a main character or a pro tag?
It was a co.
Oh, is it it's not Queek, but is it the scissor guy and the rock guy whose names I can't remember?
No. No. Well,
okay,
yeah, they're probably coming back. But no, it's Jane.
Oh yeah, because Jane's becoming the new Thor. Oh no! I'm actually kind of excited to see this, now that I say that.
With Taika Waititi, he's built up enough goodwill.
Yeah, exactly. It's Taika Waititi, so I can't hate on him too much. Plus, the female Thor in the comic books is actually my favorite iteration of Thor. Really? Yeah, because she's actually a badass. She makes Thor look like a wimp. Wow. Because she doesn't have any qualms about honor. Okay. She actually makes me... She's the Deadpool of Asgard at this point. She pulls some dishonorable shit to get the job done, and it makes me very happy. All right. I'm hoping we get more of that, and we might. And then Hawkeye TV show with... gonna have Kate Bishop. It's gonna be... Yeah, he's training the next one up. Sweet. All right, I'm looking forward to that, actually. And then... So we really know that all the Netflix stuff doesn't count because Mahershala Ali is coming back to play a character in another movie. One that people have been wanting for a long time. I don't know the name. It's been done before. It has vampires and shit. No! Yeah, they got Mahershala Ali to play Blade. Yes. Wait, does that mean we're getting the Dark Avengers too? I really hope we get the Dark Avengers. So this is all that they've said for Phase 4, and they're like, what about Phase 5? And it's like, okay, this is like nothing. This is less... No, they're going to add on more than this. We're going to get at least 5 more things, not including shows. This is 2 years. This is also only 4 movies total? Yeah. 5 movies? Five movies. Well, 5 movies, 5 shows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 movies, 5 shows. I guarantee you we're getting at least 10 movies and probably at least 10 shows. Well, the thing about the snap and bringing everyone back is they bought themselves 5 years in the timeline. Yeah. They bought themselves not only time, but dead air where they can do anything with. Yeah. And so where before they were dealing with this moving timeline where they always had to put out a movie in somewhat real time because they needed to do something with this time. Yeah. But by doing this, they bought themselves 5 years so they could do lots of things. So, yeah. Not to mention, there was a point brought up by a beloved theorist in the community that basically says, this is now, with Far From Home coming out, it's now a turning point in the MCU. That movie was a pivot point. to take the focus away from Avengers, more towards solo character movies again. I think they're going to try to build everything back up to the next set of Avengers, which, from what we're seeing in the current lineup, is true. A lot of these are solo movies or movies with pairs of characters.
Would you, instead of doing an Avengers movie, do a, okay, so Spider-Man has to be in here in the next 2 years.
Yes.
And then in that movie, or possibly, I don't know what's going to happen in that movie. I'm guessing Sinister Six, and then eventually you're going to get Osborn, but maybe he shows up in the fourth movie. Yeah. Or maybe he has his own movie where he's doing Dark Avengers type thing, because he's like, I'm rich. You guys we need this thing. Yeah, I can be sanctioned. I can be licensed. Yeah. Under the Sokovia Accords, and so I could do my own thing. He just shows up. You don't even need Parker for Osborn to exist. Sort of like you kind of don't need Fantastic Four to make Doctor Doom work. Kinda. I mean, some of these characters work together, and then some of them can just.
Spider-Man got brought up as the fifth person of Fantastic Four. His first comic book was him and the Fantastic Four, but they split way down the line because they don't need each other.
Yeah, and so it's really that's my thinking. It's like this can't possibly be the whole phase. And I kind of don't like calling them phases anymore because they just
now the phases don't really matter because we're back to what phase 1 would have been, which was the solo movies, the build-up, and phase 2 was more build-up, more nods to the rest of the universe, confirming the fact that they're all the same universe.
Yeah. And also, we still have like Guardians of the Galaxy and Black Panther of the Galaxy. And they're probably not going to do Asgardians.
I really hope they do, but that does kind of kill it. Having Thor having his own movie kind of kills it.
That also puts Thor back on Earth, at least for part of it, because Jane Foster's on Earth.
Yeah.
So, and Valkyrie's on Earth. So yeah, they're probably doing a lot of their stuff there.
Yeah, that's true.
So he doesn't have to go to space with the Guardians. Though I'm really looking forward to that Guardians movie because I know it's going to take place on Half-World with the scientist guy who made Rocket. Grand Evolutionary. Is that who it is? And it's going to do that, and Drax's story is going to get finished there. Finally. So he's probably going to find Moondragon.
And then Batista's going to be done,
and then
which will be good.
Yeah, and we can get Phyla-Vell and do that. So
on the topic of Dark Avengers, because
I could see Werewolf by Night with Blade.
Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight could come,
and
which now that we have Disney Plus, Moon Knight TV show can be a thing, which is something people have been talking for decades because Neil Gaiman just did Good Omens.
Yeah.
What says he won't do Sandman and Moon Knight? He can get the funding now. He has the backing of a bunch of producers that have followed him. Mm-hmm. Why don't we get a good Moon Knight series going with Neil Gaiman heading it?
Yeah.
Please, for the love of God, help us.
Yeah. Well, I don't read the comics. I still do my homework, and that's something that I'm looking...
Moon Knight is my favorite comic book character of all time.
He's what? He's like bipolar. He's got multiple personalities or something.
Multiple personalities, schizophrenic, is possessed multiple times by different gods, directly speaks with the Egyptian pantheon on multiple occasions, but the biggest issue about his character, he can't tell if any of it's real.
Yeah.
So all of his different personalities have different jobs, and during his most famous run, which is my favorite comic book series that I can't remember the exact name of, he's in a psych ward bouncing between his realities, which is the psych ward in New York, or he's fighting for his life in the demon realm for Anubis and his god. And it is such a good read. I wish you read comic books so I could actually give you these books for you to read, because they're so good and it's so trippy. They need to do a series so we can get this fleshed out, or at least something Moon Knight fleshed out, because he makes such a good psychological thriller character.
Yeah.
We just need it.
Yeah, his character would work really, really well on TV. I think in some ways they've been begging for a Disney Plus type service so that they could put stuff like this out.
Yeah.
Because these characters really... you can only do so much with a movie and
Exactly.
its structure and bringing in enough characters and enough characterization, and then giving an action thing that
That's
happens.
the biggest issue. That's why a lot of characters need shows. That's why I'm glad we're getting 5 shows in 2 years. We're getting 5 of them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these characters need build up for their new arcs. And not only that, but if we start doing Disney Plus into movies, you're getting more fan interaction, you're getting more fan hours, you're getting more eyes watching your shows, you're getting more hype build up, you're getting more running gags so that you don't have to try so hard to reach out for Easter eggs. Stuff like that is going to help the Marvel Cinematic Universe grow and give us fans more content to binge watch on our weekends, which is going to be amazing.
You're actually going to watch these shows.
Fuck yes, I will. Now that I only have to pay for one service, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, what you were describing with Moon Knight kind of reminds me of Fight Club a little bit.
Yes, that Fight Club, the original book, stole from Neil Gaiman's writing style.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Thievery.
Well, I mean, steal is such a strong word. It's the idea has been around forever.
Adapted.
Neil Gaiman did it best, though.
Co-opted.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman has a way with writing. But what else has gone on recently that we want to talk about before we actually hop into the movie that we're talking about today? Which this movie.
Jeez, what else did I watch? I watched. I've got all caught up on One Punch Man season 2. Are you watching that at all?
I watched season 1. I have not gotten to season 2 just yet.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's going to be easy for me to just binge through that real quick because they're all 20-minute episodes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate watching subtitles though, man.
That's the one thing that I do like. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Subtitles? No.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is just as good subbed and dubbed because the voice acting for both is just perfect.
Yeah.
So you're good, and I'll send you a link to the dub since you're a wimp.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
What else? I haven't really been watching a ton. I've been working a lot. Coming back from vacation means I have to pick up the mantle and start doing my stuff again. So I've been crammed busy. But we did just watch a movie.
We did.
And luckily, we only have to watch it once.
Another movie. Yeah, it was. It's Once Upon a Time
in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, where they like to tell stories
very punctually and slow.
Yes.
Very deliberately told and shot in magnificent ways. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so what you're expecting is not always what you get.
Did you even know what you were going to get with this movie?
I knew there was Charles Manson in it, so I knew we were getting some of the Manson clan. I knew we were in Hollywood, so we were probably going to deal with the Black Dahlia murders. And I knew that we were going to get some really good actors, because this is a star-studded cast.
Who does it have?
I mean, you've got Brad Pitt, you've got Leonardo DiCaprio, you've got Margaret Qualley, you've got Dakota Fanning, you've got Margaret Robbie, of course. You've got a bunch of different people. I mean, you got Kurt Russell in here even. I mean, come on.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this gigantic cast of people who, of course, Quentin Tarantino, he has everybody he wants. And I can't think of people who could have fit the two main characters better than Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
They're really good.
They were extremely, especially...
when was the last time you saw them be bad in something? And I'm serious.
Well, it's not just that, but the personalities. I mean, DiCaprio has that acting style that his character has.
I think these guys have been on film for so long that they're comfortable just...
being themselves, almost. Yeah. Because this movie, they were basically allowed to be themselves.
It really felt really comfortable.
It was organic. It was all the dialogue was very... organic. I can't praise this movie enough on technical stuff because it's Quentin Tarantino. He strives for perfection in all things. The writing for this movie was amazing. The cinematography, as always, was gorgeous. The soundtrack for it, great. All of the audio was great.
I put music on here somewhere.
Yeah, the music was just amazing. It's all the old hits from the 60s. It's 60s and 50s. It's good music, and it all fits the tones. There's little hidden messages in all the music, of course. You've got, like, the set dressings. All of it was to date. None of it looked like it was out of place. There was no scene where I could go, that doesn't look quite right. There was practical effects all the way around. And honestly, this movie, from a technical standpoint, was really good. But now comes the biggest issue with the movie.
He beat the shit out of Bruce Lee.
Yeah, well, yes, but also, it's almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, I had to pee so bad.
It could have been literally a...
It had a commentary track in the middle of the movie.
It did. It could have been an hour and 30 minutes, and it would have been fine. That said, I'm kind of glad it wasn't, because it was long enough to get me invested in these characters, and in most movies, I'm pretty much just ready to throw away a character at a moment's notice.
It was the pursuit of perfect acting.
It was, and again, it worked. It worked to this movie's advantage. It was a lot of character development. It was a lot of talking. There was some commentary. There's little fourth wall breaks and meta jokes in there. There's a bunch of different little nods. And again, this is something you expect out of a Quentin Tarantino film. But yet again, he impresses the world by doing it in a different way. I don't know. I can't praise this movie enough on that.
I really, really liked it. Yeah, I thought, I agreed. I put down camera shots, music, and then I was like, are some of these shots too dark?
Yeah, and there were a lot of very dark scenes, and haha, gray villain, haha. But
yeah, well, they weren't all gray.
They weren't all gray. A lot of them actually. This movie was very colorful too.
Yeah,
it was very colorful. They used the Technovision contrast shading to their advantage to do everything very poppy. I mean, for all the dark scenes, they're intentionally dark because Quentin Tarantino likes having those dark moods. And
it was very sunny when Brad Pitt took his shirt off.
Oh yeah, that scene, oh man, I was very happy. The fact that he looks that good in his 50s, God.
You got a man crush on Brad Pitt?
I definitely do. I have since before Fight Club. All
right.
What can I say? Brad Pitt's a good-looking dude. Let's be honest.
He was the original man crush.
He still is.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio's acting in this on point, perfect. His character was exactly what they sought to have.
Yeah.
An alcoholic, washed down actor who is dropped down to a B-list and struggling with that and climbing his way back up to gaining his confidence. And he played it beautifully. Brad Pitt playing that super supportive, nice guy friend who just wants to help his buddy out. He played it beautifully.
Yeah.
Everybody in this movie who had speaking roles played their roles amazingly. I mean, the entire first 2 hours of this movie is basically just them talking in different scenarios.
Yeah, it's just a collection of scenes.
It's a collection of days in the life of.
Yeah, I had no idea what Margot Robbie was doing in the whole movie, though. But she looked good doing it.
Do you know what she was actually doing? She was supposed to be the victim of the Black Dahlia murders. Yeah. She was supposed to be one of the people who died.
Yeah, I get it. They went into the wrong house.
They went to the wrong house. And exactly. So let's...
Since we
kind of let the cat out of the bag, we're dealing with the Manson clan, the Manson family.
Yeah, there's spoilers here, by the way.
And
we spoil everything.
Yeah, this show is not good at non-doing spoilers, but the Manson clan shows up. You see, like, next to nothing of Charles Manson. Again, extremely intentional because they're trying to subvert expectations. Mm-hmm. And plus, Charles Manson himself didn't have a lot to do in his crimes. He just
told everyone to do it.
He pretty much told a bunch of teenagers, hey, go do this.
Apparently all those girls are super hot.
Yeah, that's...
Pussycat, oh my god, Margaret Qualley. Yeah, girl.
Yeah, I mean, that was his target.
This serious question. I put, like, I heart hippie chicks. And then I noticed that when she put her hands over her head, she didn't shave. So I going to scratch that out, actually. I don't heart hippie chicks. Shave your shit.
Okay. Another thing, Quentin Tarantino foot fetish, that shows up a few times in the film.
I wrote it down.
I know you did. I saw upon when the windshield scene happened, I saw you start writing, like, I fucking knew it.
Foot fetish. She's got a fucking foot fetish. I mean, the girl, I don't have a foot fetish. The girl's got nice feet, but it's like, are they dirty?
Yeah.
Wash your fucking feet.
Well, hippie, they walk in
barefoot.
But
dude, yeah.
Manson clan, we get to go to the ranch, we get to see their lives, we get to interact a little bit with the core members of the Manson family, and they were
very pleasant. Took them on a horse ride.
That was the thing. They weren't bad.
Nice.
They weren't bad people up
Hey, guys,
until a point.
You want to smoke?
Yeah, I mean, they were chill. That's their thing. They went to the ranch to be hippies and chill and
Except
live.
they were calling everyone a fascist, and I know that's their thing. It's like
the counterculture movement. That was the
fuck?
entire thing of the 60s. The counterculture movement, which
made no
Manson
sense.
played on.
So, yeah.
And
Cults.
when we get into the end part of the movie, you see the car, because we're skipping a shit ton of scenes here. We're skipping 90% of the movie.
Nothing happened. Well, like a bunch of shit happened, but
nothing happened that is going to overall impact your day. A lot of this stuff was character development, set dressing, basically building up these characters to who they are, showing you a bit more. And
well, Pacino lays it out at the very beginning of the movie where he's like, you're talking about the villain becoming the villain, gets beat up by the new guy coming in, and that's sort of like the whole movie there, where he sort of sums it up, what you're going to see in terms of his journey, and in terms of DiCaprio's journey as like what's happening.
Yeah.
And then coming to grips with it. And that's also the book that he was reading was about coming to grips with
growing old and becoming
washed
less than
up
the best.
and everyone forgot. Yeah.
So real quick, Marvin Schwartz. They call him Marvin Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Please tell me you got that. Did you get that reference?
Should I? No.
Spaceballs.
Oh, really?
That was
it?
That was a tongue-in-cheek reference.
Okay, well, I get that part, but I didn't. Why would they have made that joke?
Because he was playing a character who sounded and acted a lot like Mel Brooks used to.
Okay.
His character was very Mel Brooksy, the accent and everything.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So, Schwartz.
Yeah.
Schwartz.
No, yeah, I get it.
I like that. It was very tongue-in-cheek.
I didn't pick up on the connection at all.
His character's so minor, too. That kind of sucks. I wish his character played a bigger role, other than just laying out the story arc in front of us like he does.
Yeah. Because that's... it was pretty much that.
Last scene of the movie is the most brutal set of killings I've seen on Quentin Tarantino, actually.
No.
What do you think was more brutal? Okay, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't say brutal, but visceral and sound-oriented. Because you didn't really see a ton.
Inglourious Bastards and Kill Bill, like, all of his movies was insane.
Kill Bill felt too campy. I like Kill Bill. This is
pretty tame, actually.
Well, yeah, because only 3 of them die. In Kill Bill, you have 200 people.
I just saw Midsommar. You need to see it, and then tell me that Midsommar's pretty...
Okay, I will watch Midsommar and come back.
Yeah, you gotta...
But, again, I guess they weren't brutal for the traditional sense of it was very gory. It was brutal because it made it so that the sound and the visuals made it feel like it hit a lot harder than it probably should have.
Well, that one chick was screaming hysterically the entire time.
I didn't really give a shit about the screaming. It was literally the Foley, the sound of the effects happening that I really like. And as somebody who wanted to be an audio designer as a kid, of course I like that part. But it's the Foley. It's you can hear that dog's jaw popping as he's biting into this dude's leg and then his dick. Again, what is it with dogs and biting dicks? We've had 2 movies now. John Wick and this.
And he just... and dog knows exactly what to do. That's a well-trained puppy.
Hey, some people...
See? Dog people.
Dog people, yeah.
Cat, you fuck it, and it's like, meow. It's just like, tells you to fuck off.
I have both. I don't get what the problem is. But...
They cannot coexist.
They do. They coexist perfectly fine. You just have shitty cats. Train your damn cats to be better.
I don't have cats.
No, you don't have anything.
No. I used to have fish, and they all died.
Yeah, fish do that.
Yeah.
But this last scene is so brutal and very on par for Quentin Tarantino.
It's as real as a donut.
I'm as real as a donut.
Man, yeah, Brad Pitt's tripping balls because he smoked a...
acid-soaked cigarette, which he got for 50 cents.
50 cents, back in the day. God damn. That was a good price.
It's cheaper than you can get a cigarette now. A regular cigarette.
I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to take a sports almanac and I'm going to go back in time and then...
We saw how that played out in Back to the Future. Eventually, the guy you bullied in high school will come back and punch you in the face.
I didn't bully anybody in high school.
That you think of. That you know of.
That's right. They were beneath my notice.
As are most of you mortals beneath my notice.
But I just want the cheap-ass price on my acid-dipped cigarettes. I've never done acid.
50 cents, man.
I don't think I want to, but 50 cents, I might try it.
I actually kind of flipped my shit during it. I'm like, 50 cents?
Yeah, you did. I was about to flip my shit on the people in front of us, though.
Oh my god, we had two dudes sitting the row ahead of us just off to my right who kept looking at their phones. One of them had an alarm.
Yeah.
That went off like 3 times.
I only noticed it the one time.
I wanted to reach up and smack this dude.
It's a 2 hour and 41-minute movie. Here's a tip. Here's a pro tip. Okay, when the movie starts and the movie lasts for 241 minutes, the math problem here, at what time would you get out of the fucking movie? You would get out, even if you don't know X plus 2 hours and 41 minutes, you get out 2 hours and 41 minutes after the movie started. That's what time it will be.
Yeah.
When you're done. Like, stop checking the fucking time.
Yeah,
it's
so...
some time in between then and 2 hours and 41 minutes from then.
Don't be egregious assholes like these people.
Like, the movie ends when it ends. It's like, oh, God, dude, it's 2 hours, 41 minutes. It felt like, they kept us there for 4 hours, though. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's not like they're going to keep you strapped in your chair or smoking an acid-laced cigarette. Come on, man.
Clockwork Orange, your eyes wide open.
Oh my shit. I need to watch that movie again.
Motherfucker, pay attention!
But yeah, so what would you rate this movie? Because we're so far off topic, and I don't think we're gonna get back on beat. Because this movie was...
It's a good movie.
It was a good movie, but it's one of those movies that you have to watch.
It's not as good as
Anna. You have to watch it to understand the impact of the movie, really. Because you need to see the scenes unfold the way they do. For this, you need the narrative. You need to understand where these characters are coming from, what they're doing, for this movie to actually have a good impact on you. I don't feel like somebody telling me about this movie would have any effect on me.
I could watch the last, 20 minutes of this movie and just watch that, though. I don't have to watch the rest of it.
I agree.
I want to, because it's Tarantino and it's really, really good.
And it's really good. It's really well shot. It's well done. It's well written. But I agree. You could just go to the last few scenes, watch through them, and have a pretty good grasp of what happened in the movie.
But I want to watch Margot Robbie some more. She's super hot, dude. She even snores sexy. I wrote it down, sexy snoring. And then later on, they have the other chick, and she's snoring the Italian Francesca, the Italian chick, and it's not nearly as sexy. Compare them. I challenge anybody to compare.
Audio technicians, compare them.
Yeah, one's sexy, one's not.
Analyze.
Fight me.
But yeah, so this movie was one of those movies that I suggest going and seeing instead of listening to two people talk about it, because you'll get an actual feeling about this movie. Yeah. But overall, what would you rate your experience here?
I'm gonna. It's not as good as other Tarantino offerings, so I would go with I would go with 7. Yeah, it's a 7 to me. I mean, it's 7 with some upside. I could see its upside, but I mean, it's not going any. What?
7+.
Yeah, 7+.
Because it's a good movie, and that's pretty much where I'm going to put it too.
Yeah, because everything's great about it. It just has real. I mean, the stories.
I mean, it's at the end of the movie, the story doesn't matter.
No.
Like, none of what you just sat through matters by the end of it, but
not a bit.
In a way that's... I don't know, I liked that. I liked the fact that we sat through and watched, almost a year, or actually, it was only 6 months of these dudes' lives.
Lots happening. Well, yeah,
because
they
over
say
the
6
course
months later, but then how long were we
It was only
watching?
a week during that first 2 hours, really, because they tell you each date, and it only seemed like a week went by at most.
So that must have been why he was checking his phone all the time, to see how long the movie had progressed.
So yeah, a week went by, and then 6 months later, and then 6 months later, you get the actual crescendo of it all, and that's it. Then the movie's over, and then you realize that, well, the first half doesn't matter, because the last half ties everything up. Yeah.
I want a pit bull dog.
That dog was really pretty. It was a very pretty dog.
Yeah, I want a Staffy Bull Terrier, and they're the tiny version of a pit bull, and I can't have it because they're like, pit bulls are dangerous. And and I live in an apartment, but it's a freaking terrier. I mean, it just looks scary.
You might be able to get away with that depending on what breeder you go through.
You have to get the DNA shit.
Really?
Yeah.
God, state fucking sucks. I miss being in Florida where you could just own pit bulls.
Well, yeah, and yeah. Except Florida.
Yeah, except then you're living in Florida with gators who eat you and your dog.
Yeah,
because you're tasting. Is there really anything else you want to end this episode off with, Justin?
I watched the London Has Fallen.
Yeah, by the way, those movies, we're going to go see the next one. Oh, man, I'm not looking forward.
Fallen. Yeah, I had to get all caught up on my continuity, so I rewatched it. The first one was on Netflix. It was on streaming. Olympus Has Fallen. It was fucking stupid.
And then London Has Fallen.
London Has Fallen is even fucking stupider.
I'd like to point out, Justin made a good comment while we were talking about this in the car on the way here. It's like, you do realize that these movies are basically just a bunch of video game cutscenes stitched together. I'm like, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, for one of the scenes, so stupidest thing is happening in this movie. They're trying to they get into, so London happens, everyone blows up except the president, and so our guys, Gerard Butler's trying to get our president out, and he's trying to get him to Marine 1. They get him Marine 1, and then there's guys with the RPGs up on the roof, and they shoot like Stinger missiles or something, handheld Stinger missiles. And so they shoot down all three of the Marine 1s, and then so our guys are still alive, and then they go and get in a car, and they're like, okay, we have to go to the embassy. It's like, no, you could go like literally anywhere. Yeah,
you could go literally anywhere else except for the one place they know you're going.
Yeah, and they're like, but it's like, oh, we have to go for the embassy, but they know we're going there. It's fine. We'll get there. It's like, embassy, like, you just have to get to the airport, any airport. You don't even have to go to the embassy. Why just go to your own airport?
Pro tip: embassies are not set up for defense. They're literally there as a non-defensible position to say, hey, we're friends. So, no, you don't need to go to the embassy. You need to go literally anywhere else.
Yeah, you could drive out of the city to somewhere else. And they're English people and be like, oh, I love having the president here. Unless you're Donald Trump, and then he'd probably kick you in the balls or some shit.
Yeah, probably.
But we can hope that they would do that. No, they would. Yeah, you go like literally anywhere, but they're like, no.
Yeah, these movies were bad.
And then so they get to the street, and then it's just a whole bunch of like, I got to get to the place, to the checkpoint, and then we have a little talk, and then we go and shoot up the bad guys, and then we get to another place and we have another little chat.
Yeah.
And it's just that over and over. And
you're playing through a first-person shooters campaign and dealing with all the cutscenes.
They're so bad. They're so cheap. And it's just like, oh, it's real life.
And guess what? Yeah. They made a lot of money on those movies.
Yeah, fuck that.
And they're making a third one to make even more money on these movies because dumbasses will go watch them.
Like us.
I'd like to point out, we are the dumbasses here.
There's that. And I watched Terminator 1. That was really, really good.
It has aged well.
Yeah, well, except for so Terminator gets shot in the face, and then he's got to fuck with his face.
Given the time, come on.
It looks like shit, but
it looks like shit. But think about when that movie was made.
The sex scene, while it's there for a reason to show that John Connor.
I forgot that existed actually.
Yeah, you see Sarah Connor nipple.
Great. Nip slip.
Yeah, it's like, why do we even get this? Why do we get this scene at all? Why? We can just show them, like, or we can, at the end, she's pregnant. And then we all get like, oh, that's John Connor's dad. Okay, I get it. We don't need a sex scene showing them, like, actually doing
consummating
it. It's like,
it's like...
oh, did they have the sex? I get it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, we get it. We get it. There's an attraction there, yeah. And he's never done it before, too. Poor guy. He's out there fighting a war his whole life, and it's like, and she's like, have you ever? And she's like, nah. Yeah, good job, lady. And then, she did her patriotic duty.
You guys can't see why we're laughing, but oh my god. Oh my god.
And so, it worked. And so, so I watched, I tried to watch Terminator 2, but my Blu-ray is too old so it doesn't even register, like it's in the machine or anything. So I gotta watch it. I'm gonna watch it again. I got it coming on Netflix. And then, Terminator 3, so bad. They turn him into a joke.
So bad. So bad. No, he becomes a walking one-liner.
Yeah.
He literally becomes a walking
It's
one-liner.
like, you talk to the hand and shit, and you're just like, oh my god, why are you so lame? It's because they turned you into a fucking joke. And
this is where Arnold's career just dipped.
And then I got Terminator 4 and Terminator 5 coming after that. And I've seen Terminator 4, and I have good memories, but I don't remember it very well,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we'll see. And Terminator 5, anything Emilia Clarke touches turns to dust. All of her stuff. I mean, Game of Thrones is done and bad.
Oh my god,
Game
of
character.
Thrones.
And Terminator is dead, and Solo, and that sort of helped kill off Star Wars, or at least this version of Star Wars that we have. And so I'm looking forward to the Mandarin, though. I want to see what happens in that. Mandalorian. That's the one. That's the one.
I wasn't going to correct you. I was going to let that slide, but...
That's the one.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that looks like it could be pretty good. Jon Favreau, he's got a lot of goodwill built up. So we'll see about that. I will be on Disney Plus. We'll see about some of this other shit that's coming out. But yeah, man, I've been watching so much shit. And so many movies. I'm gonna see Stuber here in sometime. Maybe.
We're not reviewing Stuber. Don't get your hopes up.
Well, that guy. I mean, it's so I like to see all the movies and then be like, you know, this one has Drax and the guy from Eternals, and this one has, you know, you could do that with all of these movies now because they have so many people in
because
there.
Marvel's running out of people. Like, we can't keep killing off characters anymore. We're running out of good actors.
I need to send in my headshot.
Yeah, man. Cast you as Rubber Man.
Whatever. I'll take it. I just want to be part of the MCU. I'll be Stiltman or whatever I have to be.
I'll be Color Boy.
Yeah.
Which is a thing.
Well, I mean, to offset the gray villain. I want to be a gray villain. I just want to be a gray villain.
Huh. Okay. Justin, this has been a great podcast of bouncing around a lot.
Like this movie.
Yeah, this movie. Yeah, this podcast was a reflection of the movie we watched. Bounced around a lot.
There you go.
Got a lot of things taken care of. So
yeah. Let's see. What do we got? I don't know what's coming out in the next
yeah,
week.
we'll have to figure out what we're gonna watch
next week. Does something come out? Something good comes out over the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
I want to see that one with the little kids. The Good Boys. Is that what it's
called? God, yeah, Good Boys. Oh, that movie's gonna kill me.
We're gonna see that. It's good. We're just gonna laugh about it. I don't know what. I mean, I don't want to give away all the jokes.
It's gonna make me cringe so hard.
It already makes you cringe. Just watch the freaking trailers.
Yeah, because I remember being that age. Oh my god.
That was too long ago for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue. You don't remember anymore. I do.
No, I'm still friends with my friends that I was...
That you were that dumb with?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So, yeah,
right.
we collectively decided to ignore that part of our childhood because we were
probably
stupid.
For the best.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, so catch us on Facebook at Grey Villain Podcast, Twitter at Grey Villain Pod, YouTube, probably where you're listening to this, at Grey Villain. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Everything you do helps us get the word out. More interaction means more eyes, more ears. Stay cool, and peace.